Are you ready for that romantic, all-inclusive getaway? Stay with us as we travel to Mexico for a review of Secrets Riviera Cancun. And as always, if you're a fan of travel and bucket list vacations, then please like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications to get notified each time we post. My guest today is Melissa Feenstra, owner-operator of Feenstra Travel, located in Jenison, Michigan. Melissa is a certified travel associate and destination specialist and has been serving the needs of her satisfied clients across the country since 1994. Hi, Melissa. Welcome to RTE Travel Talk.
Hi, Ken. How are you this morning? Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you with us, Melissa. So listen, Melissa, the reason I wanted to chat to you today is Mexico and Cancun in particular is one of the resorts that people are really thinking of when they are getting back to travel. And as you know, we are starting to get back to travel after this long hiatus. And I understand that you have just recently returned from one of our favorite resorts in Cancun, Mexico, Secrets Riviera Cancun.
That's right,
So
Ken.
I was hoping that you could spend a little time with us today and give us your review of Secrets Cancun Riviera and your best advice.
Absolutely. I'd love to. Actually, this is the second trip that I've done to Mexico in that area since the pandemic began. So, the first time, of course, like everyone else, I was a little bit nervous. The trip I just returned from, Secrets Riviera Cancun, was even better than my first trip back to Mexico.
Okay.
I have a lot of passion for Mexico, the people, the area. Being a Midwest girl and living in the cold weather, I definitely think Mexico and how they're conducting business and getting back to travel is really doing quite well. Not every all inclusive is the same. So that was part of my decision in deciding to travel to Secrets Riviera Cancun. If someone doesn't know, you fly into the Cancun airport, but the stretch from the very north point of where the resorts begin in Cancun all the way down to the southern point of Tulum is about 72 miles.
Okay.
So you really have to be careful in picking which all-inclusive resort and location is going to be best for me because your transfer time can be extremely long. Secrets Riviera Cancun is about a 15-minute transfer from the airport to the resort. I only had a short time to be in Mexico for a 4-night stay. Secrets Riviera Cancun was a great pick. The Secrets brand overall is part of the AMR collection.
Okay.
And they have about 54 properties in their brand of AMR. So Secrets Riviera Cancun is right next door, and you have exchange privileges to the Breathless Riviera Cancun. If you choose to, you can stay right at the Secrets Riviera Cancun and never visit the other side, Breathless Riviera Cancun. But it gave me an opportunity to visit both properties. And they
So,
both are different, very different.
so when you're staying at one resort, you have the opportunity to take advantage of the amenities and stuff at the other resort then.
Exactly. If
Okay.
you are a guest of Secrets Riviera Cancun, you
Of
can
course.
visit the Breathless Resort. If you're a Breathless guest, you cannot visit Secrets Riviera
Oh, okay.
Cancun. So it's just exchange privileges for Secrets Resort guests only.
Okay.
One thing that I love about the Secrets brand is it is not your regular hotel room. Every room, regardless of category, has a 2-person jacuzzi tub. Bathroom is separate from the shower area, which is separate from the getting ready area, and someone can be getting ready and you still have a bit of privacy.
Well, that's real handy for couples because when my better half gets in the powder room there, it can sometimes take a little longer. So
Exactly. So if someone's in the shower, someone else can be brushing their teeth or getting
exactly.
ready for dinner, whatever it may be. So that's a really nice feature. There is 24-hour room service. So you can order breakfast, lunch, dinner. If you need a chicken Caesar salad at 2 o'clock in the morning, no worries. Secrets Riviera Cancun will bring it to you. The room also air conditioning and works very well. And there is a nice large balcony on every room at Secrets Riviera Cancun that has 2 lawn chairs and a table. So very roomy balcony. And that's nice. The resort also, another thing that sticks out to me for a Secrets resort, oftentimes People will come back and they'll say, oh, the dinner reservations. I really struggled with making a dinner reservation. Secrets Resorts, there are no dinner reservations. You don't have a limit. If you want to go to the French restaurant every night of the week, you may do that. You may choose to go at 7 one night and 9 o'clock the next night. There is no limit on what restaurant that you choose and what time you choose it.
So is that kind of like anytime dining? So
You could explain it that way, Ken. Yes, it's just a nice feature. At some of the more cost-effective all-inclusives, which they are nice too, but they don't fit everyone's needs. At some of the more cost-effective all-inclusives during busy dinner times, you may not be able to get in because they're already full with pre-reservations. So oftentimes people will find themselves at the buffet for dinner. And
Okay.
oftentimes when you've done that for breakfast and lunch, you'd like to sit down for dinner.
Right.
And Secret's staff to guest ratio is smaller. Therefore, they can accommodate those more personal requests, like we'd like a table for two to dine at 7:30 at night. And you can just walk up to any of the restaurants and have that option.
Okay.
Another thing that's really nice about a Secrets resort, and especially Secrets Riviera Cancun, is, and maybe this seems goofy, but a lawn chair is a really important thing. Whether you're taking a nap or you like to read or maybe you like to sunbathe, if you're going to spend 6 hours in a lawn chair, goodness, you need one to be comfortable. Secrets Resorts lawn chairs, they all are teak wood and they
Right.
all have a pretty nice cushion in them, and they adjust at the bottom and also at the top. Every lawn chair and how they're set at the pool, it's 2 lawn chairs with an umbrella and a table. So that's a really nice feature. Much different than, in my opinion, like on a cruise ship, where the chairs are very, very close together. There
Oh,
aren't
yes.
a lot of umbrellas. It gives you room to kind of set up home for the afternoon in the sun.
So,
And yeah,
so
go ahead.
unlike a cruise ship, you're not crammed in like sardines.
You're not. You're not. And that's an important thing to people right now, having a little bit more of their own personal space.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, another nice feature about them is they have a drink menu that sits at that table that I mentioned in between the 2 lawn chairs and the umbrella. And they also have a snack menu. So, if you want nachos brought to your lawn chair, or if you are interested in a margarita or whatever it may be, there
So
is plenty of staff around the pool to bring that right to you. You don't
that
have to go get it.
now that's a question that I had. If you're chilling in your lounge, you're just kicking back, and you've drained one margarita. Difficult is it to get the attention of that staff member to bring you the second margarita?
At Secrets Riviera Cancun or a Secrets Resort, they have about 6 staff members that are pool concierge per any given pool. So it's pretty easy to get the attention. And because the resorts are smaller, they pride themselves on wanting to know you personally. So,
Okay.
like your first day at the pool, they want to know your first name and who you're with and where you're from. And they like to use first names. So,
Mhm.
by the end of the day, if you've had a couple glasses of champagne or a few margaritas, now they're using your first name. It's not required, but it goes a long way. And a tip, and I'm not saying a large tip, but $1 or $2 each time that pool concierge person brings you another glass of wine or champagne or margarita makes a big difference.
I would imagine. How do you go about that? You just give them cash, like you got $1 to give them, or
Oh, that's a great question. And I
okay.
just have singles and I put them in the bottom of my beach bag because everyone carries a beach bag to the pool or the beach. You've got your book in there, your magazine, your sunglasses. And I just put $30 to $35 in singles in the bottom of the bag. And when they bring you the drink, the glass of champagne, you just pass them $1 and say gracias.
Okay. That actually leads me to my next question on gratuities. I'm comparing it to a cruise. A gratuities package
Are
included
so
with your package?
Yes, they are. When you pay that upfront cost for an all inclusive, which
Right.
when you purchase your trip with a travel advisor, is going to include your round trip air, your
Right.
transportation to your all inclusive resort, and your 5 or 7 night stay, plus all tips and gratuities.
Okay.
But this is just an added gesture of goodwill. It's not required, but the people are so kind and they work so
Yeah.
hard and they're really
It,
looking for you to have a good time. You're going to want to.
it's nice to be able to respond in kind. So
Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So Melissa, Secrets, is it a true all inclusive? Like you go there, you pay one fare, and that includes absolutely everything,
It
all your
does.
meals,
It
drink.
does. Yep. Meals, drinks, entertainment in the evening. They do a show every evening. Couple times during the week, they may have live music at the pool. It could be a pianist, it could be a saxophone player, it might be a singer. They do that a couple times during the week.
Right.
So those night owls, after the show, you can catch the disco. Typically, after the show ends at about 10 o'clock, you will see the resort start to wind down. But truly, that price that you pay up front for your airfare, your transfer, and your all-inclusive stay, that is a true all-inclusive price. You do not have to expect to spend a lot of money outside of that. If you visit the spa, that is an extra additional cost.
Okay.
If you decide to rent a wave runner, for example, that's an additional cost. In Mexico, maybe you want to swim with dolphins, maybe you want to visit the cenotes or the ruins. That's an extra cost. But most everything that you're going to experience and see at the resort is included. So, in my opinion, it's a true all inclusive.
But you do have the opportunity for outside the resort excursions and that sort of thing.
You
Okay.
do, absolutely. And Cancun Riviera Maya is one that you can feel safe and you do want to visit.
Yeah, I can imagine that. So tell me, Secrets, is it a couples resort or what's the demographic? If an old guy like me was to go there, what do you find as your typical guest?
That's a great question, Ken. Thanks for bringing that up. It does typically cater to couples.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that you don't see groups of ladies celebrating a 50th birthday or even gentlemen, celebrating a bachelor party. It's funny, and I get this question a lot too. Like if you pull up Secrets Resorts and you're looking at pictures in the glossy brochure,
All the beautiful people.
everybody's beautiful.
Yeah.
And honestly, that is not a typical Secrets resort. I would say the average age is probably early 40s,
Okay.
anywhere up to, a couple that my husband and I met last week, they were celebrating their 45th wedding anniversary
Oh,
and they
wow.
were at a Secrets resort. They walked the beach together hand in hand every morning. So really it's all across the board as far
Okay.
as the age and who's there. They do advertise themselves as an adults only. So you must be 18, otherwise you cannot stay there.
Okay. That fills in my next question. It's not family oriented
It
or
is
fun.
not Secrets Riviera Cancun or a Secrets Resort. Back
Right.
the AMR, which
Mhm.
Secrets is part of that collection, they do have a family brand.
Right.
And if you were to contact a travel advisor, a good one's going to know the difference and make sure that you're at the right resort. And that's what I mean by not every all inclusive is the same. They all have their own personality, and you have to make sure that you're shopping and asking the right
Okay.
questions.
So would you recommend it for a honeymoon or a destination wedding then?
Oh, yes. They do wonderful honeymoons and amazing destination weddings. In my 25 years of selling travel, organized many destination weddings. They're extremely popular this year. And whenever I'm speaking to a bride, Secrets Resorts is one of the first brands that I recommend. When it comes to a destination wedding, their destination weddings department, they just do a really amazing job. You need a company that you can partner with that's going to be responsive when you have questions. And Secrets Resorts fits that description, definitely.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's your big day. You want it to go off right.
Yes,
So let's circle back to the resort for just a couple
sure.
more minutes here. What room did you stay in when
Oh,
you were?
great question.
Yeah.
So I stayed in what's called the Preferred Club Oceanfront King Room.
Okay.
And when a Secrets Resort, and certainly Secrets Riviera Cancun, says oceanfront, that's exactly what they mean. There is not a building that's obstructing your view. There's not a palm tree that's obstructing your view. It is a true oceanfront. So when you sit on your balcony and you look out, it is a complete oceanfront. There is nothing obstructing your view.
So do you have a particular recommendation for a room when you go to an all-inclusive, or is it very
It really depends on the person. And I
right?
think that goes back to a travel advisor and why you should reach out to one before you decide to make the investment in your vacation.
Well, Melissa, this has been absolutely great information. Secrets Riviera Cancun sounds like just a perfect beach getaway.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's close to the water. They have amazing staff. The restaurants are fabulous. The food is great. The rooms are beautiful. The entertainment is just, it is in, if any time right now, we all just need a break and to reflect. And what are we grateful for? And Secrets Resorts and Secrets Riviera Cancun, they served up exactly what I was looking for.
Perfect. So, what would you advise people that are looking to book this resort and get back to traveling? Is now a good time to be thinking about?
Being, from Canada or certain parts of the United States, let's face it, January, February, and March, it's cold here.
Oh yeah,
So I mean, people want to get back to the beach and
yeah.
those destinations. The sooner the better for Mexico. I think a lot of people may find that Secrets Resort that you really want to visit, quite honestly, could be sold out. So
Okay,
if you're thinking about it, reach out to a travel advisor and don't be afraid to get out there and travel. Just make sure that you're properly educated so that you don't miss anything.
sounds good. So, if folks want to find out more information about this resort or perhaps another getaway, how do they get hold of you?
Email works great. And I do believe it's ticking along the bottom of our screen right now, but it is Melissa at FeenstraTravel.com. I also have a website, and that is FeenstraTravel.com. And if you just want to talk, a lot of times a phone conversation, we can get a lot accomplished in a very short phone conversation. My telephone number is 616 438 5903.
Perfect. Well, Melissa, that's wonderful. I'll leave those links in the description. But just before we get out of here, what's next on your bucket list? Where are you off to next?
Next, I am off to, believe it again, Mexico. We are going to visit Rio Riviera Cancun in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. We're going as a family. My parents are going, my sister and her husband, and all of our children. And we're going the week before Christmas with the most fun experience that they can have. After all, we sell fun. That's
Exactly.
what
Well,
we
listen,
do.
that sounds wonderful. And what I heard there is this is a multi-generational.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll have to have you back to regale us with those adventures of that multi-generational vacation.
Absolutely, Ken. I would love to.
All right, Melissa. And with that, I'm going to wish you safe and happy travels for you and your guests by land or sea. And I hope to see you at a swim up bar real soon.
You bet, Ken. I'll be there.
All right. Take care.
Bye, Ken.
And that about wraps things up for today, folks. A very special thanks to my guest, Melissa Feenstra of Feenstra Travel. If you'd like to reach out to Melissa about that next great vacation, I'll leave her contact information in the description. If you'd like to reach us, send us an email to questions@realtravelexperts.com. Leave a comment. We always respond, or visit our website, realtravelexperts.com. And as always, folks, if you find this content helpful, a like, subscribe, and a ring of the bell is much appreciated and helps us to spread the word. So until next time, happy travels.